Hello, friends, and welcome to Tori Talks TV. This is our review of Game of Thrones Season 1, Episode 6. So, Episode 6 is entitled A Golden Crown. Interesting. Okay, so at this point, Jaime Lannister has fled after what he and his men did to Ned and his men. Okay, so Ned's down.
Ned's down.
Yeah, he got speared in the leg.
The thought of that really gives me the creeps.
Yeah.
Ow.
He's not doing
well. It was like a...
Yeah. It was pretty brutal. Yeah. So Ned now at this point has been reinstated as the hand of the king while Robert goes off hunting. His little wild hunting
That's what he
trips.
does as king. He goes off hunting.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, he sends for Catelyn to release Tyrion. My goodness. Well, I mean, will she do it? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Well, probably not at this point. She's pretty, set in her ways, right? So anyway, speaking of Tyrion, we're back there with creepy Liza, and Tyrion gets a trial by combat. Yes. So who's with him at this point is Bronn. Well, okay, I like Bronn. Yeah. I'm going to admit that right now.
Yes.
I like him for some reason. He seems very tough and cool and unfazed and maybe a little sociopathic. But, great nonetheless.
Yeah. And he's like, this little dwarf can't defend himself.
He needs some help.
I will be his champion.
Exactly. And he ends up winning for Tyrion. So, what a cool relationship that builds at that point with Tyrion and Bronn, right? Yes. So, anyway, let's go back to Ned. So, Ned wants his daughters out of King's Landing. Sansa and Arya are there, and he's like, I'm just sensing...
They need to get out of there.
It's not safe.
It's not a good environment.
Probably not good. But little old Sansa, starry-eyed Sansa, is like, but I want to marry Joffrey.
They have beautiful blonde babies.
And then, wait a minute.
Light bulb.
Beautiful blonde
babies.
But
wait
how
a
could
minute.
that be? So it appears that Ned's finally, kind of putting this all together.
He starts flipping through the old books.
Does some research.
Baratheon, black hair. Baratheon, black hair. Wait a minute.
Hair of blonde?
None of his children have black hair.
Wait a minute. Oh. Yeah. So he's definitely getting it now. That those are not Robert Baratheon's kids. Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, let's go on to Viserys. Dany's brother. So he very stupidly demands because he's like, okay, you guys, that's it. Okay, you guys, cute little love story you have going on, but I want my golden crown. So
and
and I want my army.
Wields the sword in the tent, which is totally against Dothraki.
You don't do that.
You don't do that.
It's against the code.
Don't do that,
man. Okay.
Bad idea.
Right. So he's like, I want my golden crown, man. And so what does my beautiful Khal Drogo do? He's like, all right,
okay,
I'll give you that crown. And so he literally melts gold, pours it over his head in one of the best moments of season 1.
One of my favorite. I love how they just really break it down to it's this cauldron, throw in the gold, it bubbles and boils, and then they pour it on his head. And he falls over dead.
Viserys was very proud of thinking oh, I'm a dragon, right? But why would that hot melting gold? Why would that kill him if you're a dragon?
And the pieces all come together because we've already seen that scene where the servant is like, oh, the water too hot.
Dany walked into that hot bath
water. And she just walks in there and she's like,
I'm cool.
I'm cool.
What's up?
And then when she has her hands on the dragon egg in the fire. And her servant comes to help her, and her hand gets burned.
The servant's hands.
Dany's is fine.
It's fine.
So the clues are kind of leading up.
Who's the real dragon at this point? Because Viserys he's dead.
Yes.
Dead by hot gold.
Hot gold.
Burning hot gold. But if you're a dragon, why would you die of that?
Right?
Interesting.
And that whole trial by combat thing, though, I think it's fascinating because this whole thing is about justice and did Tyrion try to plot to kill Bran, and this is very important to Catelyn. But then he's like, I demand trial by combat, and they're like, okay,
no problem,
let's do it.
Yeah.
And so Bronn steps in as his champion, and Bronn kind of tricks the other guy into losing, and
that's a really cool moment.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, you're free.
Right. Okay, good to go. So they just like walk out casually.
I know. I like how sweet Robin's like, he doesn't play fair.
What a weirdo though.
And like,
child.
but he's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I don't know. This whole world kind of like blows my mind.
And still, it continues to blow our minds.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what an interesting episode. But that is
really
the end of episode 6.
Yes.
So please stay tuned to our review of episode 7, which is coming up shortly. Don't go anywhere. And we will see you there on the flip side.